Hello and welcome back to the Cutie Art Crusaders, episode 59 for Tuesday, August the 20th, 2013. Welcome back, guys. We've got something awesome for you guys today. We finally got all the crew back. It's felt like it's been such a long time, or at least, it's felt like it because I was doing it by myself last week, but we've got everyone back. Super exciting. My name is Rainbow Plasma. I'm the organizer of this podcast, and today I'm joined by...
Bernd and Flutterguy. I'm the special guest coordinator for the podcast, and this week I'll be editing.
I'm Flutterguy317, and I'm the media manager for the podcast.
And I am Atmospark. I do the questions, and I monitor the DeviantArt page.
Sweet.
Oh,
sweet.
yeah.
Yay. So, first things first, welcome back, everyone. Holy cow, last week was a little bit,
Yeah.
It's a bit cray.
It's not easy to run a podcast for an hour with only one person. I had Mahauer, and thanks again to Mahauer for coming out and helping me out with that. But still, it was
Just the charisma that he gives off makes it okay.
it was still kind of difficult to do. So it's nice to have you guys back.
It's nice to be back.
Me.
And Bernd.
Also, yeah, and Bernd.
It's sad to be back.
I hate this
Gotta
show.
live at Flutterguy's for like a week and a half.
It was amazing. Even
That's
though
true,
I
that's true. You guys
only saw you
sometimes.
for like 3 hours out of the day because I worked.
Yeah.
But we'll talk about that in a bit.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh yes, quite.
Do you guys care enough to talk about why your names are changed or your roles are changed or whatever?
I don't know. How do you want to put it?
Well, we decided that we needed a little sprucing up because since we're an art podcast, we didn't want like one person to do all of the art stuff. So everyone's going to be involved in that, and we just did a little bit of restructuring. So yeah, that's basically
honestly, like when we set out those roles, it was when we first started like a year ago.
Mhm.
So a lot of the stuff that you were the art organizer. That was the biggest thing. You were the art organizer,
Mhm.
and like for the last like half a year or so, we've all been kind of doing that, and you've been doing something else. So we finally decided that we would just change your role, and then everyone else had kind of minor tweaks, but yours was the biggest one because you run like everything that we do on our live stream day. So
Yeah.
I figured I would just make that your job as opposed to some sort of fake job that you just say every week.
yeah.
we just needed a little bit more structure.
A lot of this stuff has been like a lot of the jobs that we're doing have been the exact same as we've been doing behind the scenes. We just are literally changing the names because some of them didn't make any sense.
Right. Also, we're
Yeah.
gonna say who's the editor of the episode is at the beginning too.
Because apparently people keep asking us. So there you go.
Yeah.
Because we started doing the joke where like it was Brony Plasma. He's like, I'm the editor because he was the editor, and then I started editing, and then it was like, oh well, I'm also an editor. So then it was just kind of a joke. So then I would always chime in after and be like, I'm also an editor for the podcast because we both edit. But now just like, well, I'm editing this week, or he's editing.
Yeah, it
with
was kind
whatever.
of confusing, and I would get questions almost every single week from the live stream saying, who is actually editing? And so there you go. At the beginning of each episode, depending on who's editing, we'll say it.
Yep.
So no more of those questions.
The good ones are the ones I made.
When do I get to edit?
Never.
Oh.
The thing about being an editor is that a lot of times, like, the podcast is like my baby, and so when I gave it off to Bernd, like, I gave him like 4 hours of tutorials and like kind of like watched over his shoulder for the first few weeks.
Friggin' gets it back. Why is it covered in bruises?
You're an abusive editor.
Did you just make a baby beating joke?
You're like the diamond tiara of our podcast.
Only the topmost maturity here in the Cutie Art
Wow.
Crusaders. It's good to be back.
That
Well then.
It's good to be back home.
That fan art that was made for us, that's totally legit. That's how it works.
That was the vaguest sentence I've ever heard. We have.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if you've
It was
noticed,
like
but we have more than one
It
fan
was
art
like the
piece.
second or first one that someone made for us, where you're diamond tiara. That's totally right.
Oh,
Yeah, that's
the
one of
one
my
by
favorites.
Vader Spark. Wait, Vader. Oh no, I'm gonna feel like an awful person. Vader.
It's only been like a year.
Give me a second. Elevator music, go. Why do we have so many favorites folders? Where is it?
God. This is a horrible episode.
God, why do I suck so much? Found it. It's by D4S Vader.
Yay!
Yay, that one.
Yay! Okay, so anyways. So this week, we've got something kind of special for you guys. Both
Every week is special.
Shut up. Both Atmospark and I are kind of exhausted from the last couple of weeks, and these two are completely fresh and ready to go.
What do you mean fresh? My whole body's sore.
Based on their last little week off, so they've decided to do a little special thing for us, haven't you?
Sure, yeah, I guess. No, Bernd and I went to BronyCon 2013.
Yeah.
2 weeks ago at this point. Jeez, it's been a while. We went
Crikey.
down to Maryland on the 1st of August. And we met up with Mahauer, who was on the podcast for the past 2 episodes.
The man shower.
Yes.
Yep.
And so we went down, we stayed for the 3 days of the con, and then we came back on the Sunday. And it was pretty awesome. Yeah.
Yes. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
We had absolute blast.
Oh, yeah.
Too much of a blast, honestly.
So, and then afterwards, Bernd stayed with me for a whole week. And then we went to the shore, the Connecticut shoreline, and that was fun.
Yeah, and we went to Flutterguy's parents' beach house, which was really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw some pictures from that on Facebook, and it looks like you guys went like tubing. You guys had a great time, and I'm sitting here working part time at a wing place making wings. And I think I got the better end of the deal.
Yeah,
say
you
it's
totally
a great
did.
time,
You got
but then
wings,
you
man.
don't know how to water ski, and the boat goes, and then you're like, oh, salt water. And you taste fish for the next week.
Everywhere.
Taste fish for the next week. You still pulling
Like
fish from behind your teeth?
Super sinus cleansing from the force of salt water going into your face isn't the most pleasant thing ever.
Yeah.
It's
Ooh,
totally,
Crimea River.
it works so well. I live near a beach
But-
and I go swimming and it's so good.
Yeah, no, while we were there, we did lots of fun stuff. I'd never done any kind of water sports, water skiing, tubing, whatever.
Yeah.
But while we were there, we did... Flutterguy was sort of taught me how to water ski, and then I sort of did horrible at it. But I got up, and I was like skiing for a little bit.
Yeah.
But then water everywhere.
Yeah.
I've never actually
did
learned
get
how to
up.
do water skiing before. I've always seen people do it, but I've kind of wanted to try.
All right.
I've
That's
never
fun.
actually done it either.
So,
There's
I
like
live in
normal
like one of the
skiing.
best places in the world to do it and I've never done it.
That's true.
yeah,
Is Australia a big beach place?
it's an island.
Where I am, yeah.
Pretty sure it's just surrounded by
But yeah,
beach.
no, Australia is an island, so yes.
Cool.
Yeah. No, I was basically over the weekend, like I had some of my college roommates down and Bernd came and we did a lot of water sports and it was a lot of fun. So it was cool.
Sweet.
I'm sure we can put some pictures up from that.
Yeah, I'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Let's put stuff montage.
But you guys,
But,
but yeah, I mean, you guys went to BronyCon, which is huge because I mean
Yes.
that's to be completely accurate. It is the largest Brony convention in the world.
ridiculously large. In fact, did you
8,000
hear the
people.
exact numbers for how large?
It was
over
I thought it was more
8,000.
than 8,000.
Yes.
Yeah.
Pre-registration was about what was it? 6,000, I believe.
6,100.
6,000 was
Yeah.
pre-registration. At the door, once everyone had like gone in door registration, everything was said and done on the last day when I was talking to one of the guys in charge of like badges and stuff. There was over 9,000 post-registration,
Really?
I believe.
Yeah, I thought it was really getting close up
Over
to
9,000.
Are we gonna really do that joke?
No. I was skirting past
I
it.
think we just did.
Yeah.
No. Okay. Yeah, but I heard. Yeah, figures really close to 10,000, which is insane. I mean, how big was Everfree Northwest? Do you guys know or?
Everfree Northwest
It was like 3-ish.
Yeah, it
1,000.
was like 3,000, right? I think that was.
I think it
3
got
or
up to
4,000. Yeah, somewhere around there.
4,000 plus.
Yeah.
But like
So I mean, two to
3,000,
three times.
4,000 ish, around there, which is like what, half?
Two to
of
three,
BronyCon?
yeah, 2 to 3
Yeah.
times. BronyCon was 2 to 3 times bigger than that, which is, it's crazy to me because, I felt like Everfree Northwest was just like bustling. But it looks like you guys, I don't really, when I don't go to conventions, I usually don't look at like too much stuff from them. But from what I've seen from like the pictures and stuff, it looked like it was kind of a different venue. Because
Well, it
Everfree
was-
Northwest was kind of at a hotel, whereas it
Yeah.
looked more like a convention center that BronyCon was in.
It was in both. It was in a hotel attached to the convention center that there were not panels in, but like registration and signings and stuff like that went on in the hotel. But the whole entirety of the convention actually went on in the Baltimore Convention Center. So it was huge. I mean, it was a convention center.
Okay. So even though there was
So, yeah.
10,000 people, there was still like a lot of space, you think?
Yeah, I mean,
Oh, yes. There was so much space.
We took up like maybe half of the convention center. So I mean,
If that.
you could easily fit like maybe 25, 30,000 people in that convention center.
Yeah.
But
No,
like, still, it
Flutter-
was huge.
Now, I mean, Flutterguy, you and I went to PAX East in March. I don't know how many people went to PAX East. I think it was somewhere up of like 50,000.
Yeah.
But how big was the convention center like compared to that? Nobody in the audience is going to get this, but like just as a reference point, like how big was the convention center compared to like that one?
It was smaller of a convention center, but it was still pretty large. Like
Like half the
the
size of it, you think?
yeah. Well, PAX is a different venue because they had a huge expo floor, and the Maryland or the Baltimore Convention Center didn't have something like that. They did have like some expo floors, like different ones, but it
But like a
wasn't
couple
like
small ones.
yeah, it wasn't like this huge big open thing. And we didn't really get to see the rest of the venue, like, because they literally like had half of the venue and then the other half was just blocked off. Like I don't know if they could only reserve like the whole thing and then just like
only needed like
Yeah.
the part that they reserved.
Right, right.
so it wasn't as big obviously as PAX, but it
Yeah,
was
of
still
course.
really large.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, the two largest areas were the vendor area downstairs and then the like opening closing ceremony area, the main panel room upstairs.
The main panel
which both were just gigantic.
Yeah. The main panel room, like the panel room that was at Everfree, it
Yep.
was maybe what, like 4 to 6 times the size of that.
Yeah,
You
pretty
know,
much.
the one at
huge.
Everfree Northwest actually kind of surprised me a little bit because I felt like the main panel room at Everfree Northwest was a little bit small, I thought. But it seemed to work for the venue, but
Yeah.
it did seem a little bit small. So it doesn't surprise me that a place that was bigger would have something at least 2 or 3 times the size.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think if Everfree Northwest, like next year, if they do have a venue, their like opening closing ceremony, like main panel room should be at least like twice as big, you know?
Yeah. Well, the main room at Everfree wasn't like didn't take up the whole room. Like they had it partitioned.
Yeah.
So I can imagine that in the future they would
They just opened
expand
the
that.
partition.
Yeah.
So what did you guys see? What did you guys do?
So we saw art. Lots of art.
Yeah, I
No.
mean there was an artist alley like usual, right?
Yeah, literally, we spent our entire time in the vendor hall. Like,
Pretty much.
we didn't really go to see any panel. We saw the Friendship with Witchcraft panel, which was a lot of fun because they showed the newest episode. But beyond that, I mean, we really just walked the vendor hall and talked to artists and stuff, and it was pretty awesome.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
It was like the largest vendor hall for ponies that I have ever been in, hands down, by like twofold.
Yeah.
Like the largest vendor hall that I've been in at a pony convention was probably EQLA, and I'm sure there might have been larger, but just like the conventions I've been to was EQLA, and this was easily like 3 times the size of that. It was crazy.
Yeah.
There were so many people.
Right.
We did
Yeah.
not to plug our own network, but we did go to the Everfree network panel. And
We're all about plugs.
They had a panel?
they had a panel, yeah. And
Yep.
we got called out
Meet
too.
EFN, I think was the panel.
Yeah. It was
It was like super early in the
it was
morning,
the first
and
panel or after the opening ceremonies, which made no
Yeah.
sense.
yeah, that and the opening ceremonies got delayed, so then the panel got like pushed back and shortened.
That's too bad.
Yeah.
But whatever.
So that was a lot of fun. People like kept filtering in as the panel was going on, and it was just like it was all the Everfree staff people, and they Final Draft was talking about like the different shows that are on and how like we do all of our own stuff, and like he basically, because who was there was some blue screen bronies there, some people from KPNY were there, and we were there, and so he basically like called us out and people applauded, and it was awesome.
Yeah, it was cool.
Yeah. Yeah. So you can actually see in this picture, which I'm going to make Bernd put up, the little Everfree plaque was made by Firemain, who does all of the handmade wood carvings.
Yeah, he did. I believe he did a really nice one of Philomena for Everfree Northwest that went up on the auction. I remember his stuff. He does his word work is really amazing.
Yeah.
I think he's having surgery on his wrist. Is he not?
Yeah. He has like arthritis, which is really
He
sad.
has very bad arthritis, and those few plaques that he gave away at the BronyCon 2013 were the last plaques that he can actually physically make
For like the next couple of years, for sure.
for the time being, and maybe ever. Arthritis is actually serious business, and I highly doubt, and it would probably be surprising if he actually started doing wood carving again.
Yeah, it's unfortunate.
But I mean, it's great that he managed to get some stuff out, and I know that one looks really great. I looked at it at first and I went, "Is that some sort of weird sticker? Why is it?" And then I realized it was made out of wood, and I was like, "Oh wow, that's really cool."
Yeah.
I can't he's raised so much money for just like charity alone.
Yeah.
Because like he's given a lot of those plaques to like charity auctions.
He always puts like two or three in, and this at BronyCon I think he put 3 into the charity auction, and they all raised like a good amount of money, which was awesome.
Just about every voice actor has one that he's made as well.
Yeah.
That's great. That's great. So when you guys were in the artist hall, like, did you? I know at Everfree Northwest we did like a bunch of interviews and stuff. What did you guys end up doing? Did you do anything similar, or?
We did quite a lot of stuff actually, because we had 3 days that we basically spent down there. We did get some interviews, but getting interviews with all of the artists was like a really daunting task because there were so many.
There were so many.
Yeah.
That, and we friggin' wasted so much time in the artist alley just like meeting people and talking to people and looking at the junk and just doing stuff that we just like towards the end of the con we just didn't have time to do like interviews and stuff. That was junk that we should have done before, but we didn't want to because there was so much to do.
Yeah.
So I mean, we did get some interviews. I know you and Mahauer did a few interviews.
Yes.
And then our biggest one was with the Traveling Pony Museum. We did 2 there, 2 separate interviews.
So the interviews,
like full length.
The interviews that I did with artists are probably going to go up onto our YouTube page, our YouTube channel soon. But I don't know if Everfree is going to release the Traveling Pony Museum or if we wanted to put that up.
It probably will.
Yeah. So stay tuned for that.
If anything, yeah. So you can look for that on the Everfree Network YouTube channel. We might link to it through ours, whatever.
Yeah. And that was really cool because they have a lot of original pieces in there and a lot of like prints and stuff. And they had a lot of like little sculptures that people had made. And it was just, all of this stuff that was donated to them, and they just take it to all the different cons. So
they're literally a museum about ponies that travel from convention to convention, which is actually pretty impressive because it's mainly spearheaded by Miki Notebook. And it's basically everything gets there in like the back of her car, which is like insanely impressive.
Yeah. And I know Bernd, when you went to Everfree Northwest last year, they were there, and you mentioned that to us, a long time ago. So it's good that you got to see them again.
Yeah, I took a lot of pictures at the first Everfree Northwest of like the museum and set up and did some fancy stuff with the Arrow Chief, a good friend of mine. And we took some really high quality photos, but we never got it to them. Just like never came to be. So then actually Jason, another curator from the museum, hold on, Jesse, excuse me. I keep calling him Jason. I have 2 friends named Jason, so I keep calling him Jason because he reminds me of a friend of mine. But Jesse, excuse me. Jesse, recognized me. He's like, "Oh, I remember you from the first Everfree North." I was like, "Holy crap, that's been like what, a year now?" More so. But he remembered me and remembered that I took a bunch of pictures and stuff. And we actually got back in contact, so now I can finally get those pictures and stuff to them. And we did the extended interviews with them as well, and we did a little museum walkthrough. Again, that will be up on probably on Everfree Network. That you guys can check out with him, which was pretty cool. Mm-hmm. It was good to like catch up and give them like a highlight, so to speak.
It's actually really nice because we caught that interview at like the end of the con, like as things were closing up. So we were able to get
like last minute.
Yeah, so we were able to get like all of the people who were curating and involved in the museum there, and we were able to like have an environment where it was quiet and like interview friendly, and we could walk through the museum.
That's nice.
Yeah.
I found something here. Is this the layout for the show floor?
Yeah.
But yeah, so I mean, I just wanted to bring up like the size of it because that looks to be about 3 times as big as the Everfree Northwest one.
Yeah. It was also nice because the aisles were wider than the Everfree Northwest one. So
much.
Yeah,
They were
that is
huge.
definitely nice. I mean, especially with more people there, I couldn't imagine squeezing more people in.
yeah.
You shove several thousand people in there, it gets ridiculous.
Yeah.
I bet it would get really hot in there too. Jeez.
No, because it's an actual convention center, not like a hotel. So the friggin' ventilation system for that convention center is worth millions of dollars.
Yeah.
So they
So it
actually
was
have air
always
conditioning?
cool.
Oh, that's,
Yes.
That's nice.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. No,
And like they pumped up the air conditioning too during like Pony Stock or whatever it was, Brony Palooza and whatnot.
Yeah. I mean, geez. I mean, I heard a little bit about Brony Palooza. Again, like I'm not the kind of concert people. When you guys went out to the concerts, I wasn't really into that. But I just looked at like I saw EFN was posting stuff, and I was just like, I looked at it and I was like, it's a 6-hour concert.
Yep.
It went for 6 hours. Okay.
Yep.
Truthfully speaking, how many hours did you guys spend at that?
We spent
4 or 5.
4 or 5, yeah.
You guys
Saturday.
are nuts.
We couldn't make the Friday one for some reason. I can't remember.
Absolutely nuts.
But yeah, we went on Saturday and we got to see some really awesome sets from like Alex S and Tombstone and Silva.
Silva Hound.
Yeah. It was pretty awesome.
My favorite live set, by the way.
It was weird though because it's a convention center and the room that they used was the same as the main hall. They just pulled out all the chairs. It was not on the ground floor. Like it was up a level. So they didn't let anyone
It
jump.
was up 2 levels.
Yeah. They didn't let anyone jump at all. So that was like, dancing without jumping to, electric
Jumpy music.
Yeah.
To say the
Yeah,
least.
like
it
not-
lacked some energy because of that, but it was still good.
Yeah.
But it was funny because in at Everfree Northwest we hit like what, a 1.0 on the Richter scale or some ridiculous crap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then at BronyCon, like since it was such a huge convention center and there were so many people, like absolutely no jumping, we will destroy this building.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I mean, it's a convention center; it's meant for conventions and like
Not-
just like people.
not
It's not meant
concerts, yeah.
for heavy jumping activity of several thousand people.
Yeah.
For sure.
It was really cool too because Laser Pony was there, and he did a show during Alexis's set and Tombstone's set, which is really cool.
Was it like I'm not familiar with Laser Pony. I mean, I can make an assumption based on the name, but I'm
he has
assuming
nothing
it's
to
just,
do with lasers. It's all flashlights.
Yeah,
Very misconception.
I'm just assuming that.
No, he-
probably
No, he had a
doesn't
very
like
cool
them.
laser show.
Yeah, he had
really
these
awesome.
2 like high quality laser projectors that like just it was really cool.
Speaking of high quality laser projectors,
That's pretty cool. Are they like ones that make stars and stuff on the sky and stuff like that?
we'll see.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, fine, I will.
Yeah.
They had like huge like fog machines going, so they filled up the front part of the stage with fog, and the lasers went through that. So like normally you would just look at the designs there, like coming off of the stage, but they also did project designs like on the back of the room, but it was so far away, no one's really looking at them. But I mean, they're like stars and whatnot, like actual designs in like the back of the room. But mainly it was just for the effect that there were 2 huge, very bright lasers shining through mist that were synced to music, which was really cool.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool.
I mean, you can check it out. Everfree Radio,
Yeah.
YouTube.
Yeah.
Kind of wish I did something like that with Everfree. That'd be cool.
Yeah, that would be awesome. But so anyhow, onto the art because there was a lot of it.
So you've got a bunch of pictures here that you guys want to show off?
Sure. So one of the artists that we highlighted at Everfree Northwest was Leakfish, and she came to BronyCon as well. And so I bought these 2 prints from her, which are monochromatic Applejack and Rainbow Dash. Which
Applejack, I approve.
Yes, I approve too. It was actually really cool because she had the whole set there, and Mahaura ended up buying all of them. And she also was giving away a little Luna print if you bought a certain amount from her, which is part of this larger set of things that I got.
Yeah, that's your
Which
little
is
scrapbook
pretty.
thing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, Pinky Dash, you'd be happy to know that the first print Mahaura did buy was Pinkie Pie,
I'm happy.
a monochromatic Pinky.
Yeah.
So
Then he bought all the others.
you've got those. I see you've got, what's this one with Rainbow Dash and Scootaloo? Which artist is that from?
That is from an artist called Bucking Amazing, I think, or Bucking Awesome, something like that.
Bucking Awesome.
Yeah,
It's
Bucking Awesome. It's a group of like 4 or 5 artists, and there was all sorts of different styles of works there, but this particular style is just so adorable. And I don't think the artist was there.
Yeah, the artist who did that one was not at the con. She wasn't behind the table, but all of her friends were managing it.
Yeah.
And had like a bunch of other stuff,
That's cool.
like little keychains, buttons, you name it.
Yeah. So it looked so adorable. And Bernd, I think you and I got the last 2 of those prints.
Yeah,
So,
I got one too.
yeah. So cute.
And you've got one. You seem. I mean, you bought like
I've
what,
got
4 or
a
5
lot.
prints?
Yeah.
So just go through them, I guess.
Okay. So surprisingly, a Trill was there at BronyCon,
Yeah.
which was awesome because he lives across the sea in, I think, Hungary.
Yeah.
And so it was,
He used to live in Hungary, but he lives
He's
in
in Ireland now. He's in Scotland.
Ireland, Scotland.
when I was interviewing him though, he said Hungary.
Well, no,
So-
he's had to go back and forth between Hungary
Yeah.
for a bunch of different reasons, but his end goal is moving to Scotland, I believe.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think he's
I
still,
believe
still in between.
I believe he's got like a house there, but there's some issues. I don't know. It's a lot of personal stuff, but basically he wants to live in Scotland and is almost there from what I got.
Regardless,
So close.
he came a long distance
Either
over
way,
the ocean.
either
and it
way,
was
he came along
awesome.
distance.
Him and
Yeah, it was great to meet him.
and another artist, Seiden,
Sidon.
Yeah, it was.
were
his
sharing
friend.
a table. Yeah, and it was Seiden's first con like ever, I think. And yeah, the print that I got was of Applejack, and it's a Trill, so it's gonna be adorable, you know. And then Seiden and a Trill both did commissions of my OC. Yeah, and
It's funny. That must be one of
adorable.
Atrill's older works, the Applejack piece.
Yeah.
Because I immediately thought that was Seiden, but I am obviously wrong.
Well, see, I think Seiden,
They do have very similar styles.
he looks up to a Trill.
Well,
for
okay.
inspiration.
So you see,
Yeah, go ahead.
you see, how it works is that Applejack one, I believe, is one of Trill's old pieces. Because a Trill signed it down the corner. You can't see it in the picture, but it's a little black Sharpie. That's one of his older ones. But when a Trill was making art, Seiden was really inspired by it and inspired by his work and just his style. And when he used to do a lot of anther work, so Seiden started literally imitating a Trill's style just to learn and practice. And eventually he became a way better artist and actually is really amazing at making creating art of his own now, and is now developing and working his own style that's still similar to a Trill and has its bases, but it's still now becoming his own.
Yeah,
So that's
yeah.
why it's so similar, because he was literally sharing an account or sharing a Trill's account as a Trill would post his work, and then a Trill forced him to go make his own bloody Tumblr and post his own work.
A Trill also convinced him to come to the con, so yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
So you've got those ones.
There is definitely a difference in Seiden's work. Seiden's work actually is very similar to a Trill's early work, and a Trill's work now is
Right. That's why it fooled
different.
me, because I to me that looked like Seiden's stuff, because it looked like earlier Trill work. Anyways,
Yeah.
but it's not.
It was
not a big deal.
post or pre pre-Atril color eyelashes.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, on the topic of the Traveling Pony Museum, they were selling prints of some of the pieces in the museum. And one of the artists that they have in the museum is Husi, who we've featured quite a lot of on the show.
Yeah.
And so
Oh, is that what the Pinkie Pie one
that is what the Pinkie Pie is, yeah.
Ah.
So Mahauer and I were like going to go and take a look at some of the prints that were available, and this Pinkie Pie one caught our eye, and we haven't featured it yet on the show.
I can't
but
see that yet. Where
it
is
looks amazing. It's like the paper itself is very glossy, so I don't know if the picture that I took came out the best, but
No, it's pretty terrible, but you know, it'll work.
Yeah.
It'll definitely work. It'll definitely work.
yeah.
I can actually put the legitimate
You could
version
put the
on
le-
the screen
yeah, that would be good.
because
Yeah.
I can just go to DeviantArt.
No, Bernd, you have to be authentic. Don't do it, Bernd. We have to put faces on every single one. Make sure that we know it's real.
They were selling the Hakuna Matata Fluttershy one too, and I
Yes.
was surprised you didn't have that one. I really wanted to, but I was trying to watch my budget.
Yeah, I don't know, like they had that one, and they had an Applejack piece from Husi as well. And they're both fantastic, but this Pinkie Pie one really stood out to both Mahauer and myself, so I got it. And then we spent quite a long time talking to another artist who I think we've featured, Celebi Yoshi. Yeah, who was absolutely awesome. She had some defective prints that she was trying to sell for like less than the actual print. But I was gonna buy the defective print, but then I ended up buying the real print, like the normal print. And then she was like, "Here, let me throw this in," and stuff like that. So we ended up getting an interview with her, and that should hopefully be up on our YouTube, which is awesome.
Yeah.
And so that's this Celestia piece right here.
So pretty.
And then you had the Sophie Cabra, Doctor Who's one.
Yeah, so I recently started getting into watching Doctor Who. So I was like, all right, I should probably pick up this piece because Sophie Cabra is amazing. And we found out something that we didn't know. Bernd, do you want to tell about Sophie Cabra? How she does the sketches and her friend does all
Oh no,
of
we
the
already talked about that when you
Oh yeah.
because we had Sophie
the-
Cabra's derpy piece. But yeah, I
Right.
mean Sophie Cabra does the sketches and then her friend does the
Yeah.
coloring, the painting.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah. No, we definitely talked about that when you guys came back when you were here a couple weeks ago.
Yep.
Who made the Rainbow Dash and Scootaloo one?
That was the Bucking Amazing people.
Wasn't?
Yeah. It is adorable.
I'm-
Artist's
I'm-
actual name.
The thing wouldn't load for me before, so I'm looking through them all now.
Yeah. So yeah, that piece really caught my eye with Doctor Who's, and Derpy is in the TARDIS. You can kind of see her there, so it was cute. And then another artist who we did not expect to run into was Blixit. And Bernd has a big story to tell about that later, but I ended up getting this watercolor piece which we featured. This is a print of it. I think the original is in the Traveling Pony Museum. And so I got this print of Rainbow Dash and Twilight.
That one is amazing. I'm looking at it now.
Yeah,
It's so pretty.
If you go back to our painting episode, which I can't remember the episode number, but we featured it and talked about it to a large extent in there.
Yeah, we mentioned it a couple times.
I'm sure we did.
Sorry. It wasn't very professional, but we mentioned Celebi Yoshi, and I just noticed that she was on Skype, so I was like, "Oh hey," and I just said hi. I was typing like a dork. But yes, I have some pretty cool stories about Blixit.
Yeah.
Well, let's
I'll
go
get to when you finish your stuff.
Let's go through all of these first. So, do you want to talk about the little? Because you mentioned your scrapbook thing, which you had the Luna from.
Yeah. I can go through that really quickly. So if you just throw up the whole picture, Burned, then basically the Luna thing was from Leakfish, which she was throwing in for free if you bought over a certain amount. And then the Derpy is a vinyl sticker for my car. which will be pretty awesome. I'm gonna put it on my rear windshield.
Mm-hmm.
The Twilight Alicorn trading card was a con exclusive, and we rushed down there the first day to get them, and so Bernd, Mahauer, and myself got them, and I'm holding on to Mahauer's.
Yeah, it was similar to the derpy one that was at Everfree Northwest.
Yep.
Yeah.
I made sure I got that bloody card.
Which I never actually got. They ran out by the time I want one. By the time I want to get one.
But yeah, so that was pretty cool. And then the two little postcard things are from also from Syllabi because we talked to her for quite a while, and we talked about our show and stuff, and how we had featured some of her art, and how we wanted to do an interview with her at the con and possibly also on the show. And so she was like really enamored with it, and she was just like, "Here, you guys take these." So
Oh, that's nice. That's nice.
yeah,
You should have her on sometime.
I know. And then in the corner on the right is an awesome little name tag made by Michael or Crazy Pastels, who's a fan of our show and is always in the chat.
Well, that's
which
nice.
is really cool. And
That's really
unfortunately,
cool.
he couldn't make it. But he sent them with Vigilant Watch, who's someone with EFN.
Oh, okay. That's cool. That's
So-
really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was cool.
That's very nice of him.
Yeah. Okay, so
Did you guys meet any other of our fans there?
we did. We'll talk about that in a bit. I'm gonna finish up with this, and then Vern can go through his stuff, and then we'll talk about fans and whatnot that we met there.
I'm gonna skip
But
right
we
over
met
the
quite a
Equestria
lot.
Girls DVD because
Oh, come
I
on.
don't think it needs explanation. You got a DVD of
I
Equestria
got a
Girls.
DVD of Equestria Girls.
There you go.
Which I still haven't seen.
before
You really
it was
need- you really
released
need
to
to watch
the
that.
public. Yeah.
I mean, what?
So
But yeah.
yeah, no, a quick thing about Equestria Girls. Like, I hadn't seen it beforehand, and so we had planned to do like a little relaxing night in our hotel room, and they were selling Equestria Girls at the con. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna buy it, and we're just gonna like chill and watch it, and we did, and it was
Yeah,
awesome.
you guys watched it after the Derpy episode that we recorded a couple weeks ago.
Yep.
Yeah. What'd I say? It's a good movie, isn't it?
It is a good movie.
You guys are like,
You
man,
should
I
go
don't know.
watch it. Everyone should
I don't
go
know.
watch
Is it?
Yeah.
It's good. You should watch it.
Eventually. It'll probably come to Australia next year.
I enjoyed it.
Darn right, Bernd enjoyed it. Yes, that means that it's totally validated because Bernd enjoyed it. Yes.
Yeah. No, it was really cute. You guys, if you haven't watched it yet, you really should, because it's amazing.
You know, it's funny because
It's
when
not in Australia yet.
when I did talk to you guys about it, because I was the first one to watch it out of all of you, and so I watched it, and I went in with like really low expectations, and it ended up being really good. And so then when I told you guys about it, like I knew Flutterguy, I knew you would walk into it and walk out and be like, it was really nice, because you and I kind of share the whole like we like everything pony.
Yeah.
And like Bernd really likes everything pony too, but like I don't know why, I just was always like, it's almost like I was a little child wanting my parents' approval to be like, I like Equestria Girls. Did you, Bernd? And he was like, it's all right. And I was like, yay! Yeah!
Oh gosh.
I'm glad you guys watched it. That was good.
Yeah.
When I looked past like the thing that they just weren't ponies, it's like whatever.
You get used
I
to it,
got
don't you?
over
It's
it.
strange.
Yeah.
It's like I went from watching My Little Pony to weird colored Kim Possible, you know.
I mean, Kim Possible was a great show, so
Yeah, it wasn't bad.
yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Kim Possible was good.
Yeah.
So, Fluttershy piece?
Yeah, so
Yeah.
Who's that by?
it was by Purple Lemons,
Yeah.
who is an
Purple Lemons.
awesome
Shout
fan of our
I have heard that
show.
name, yeah.
He's a fan of our show, and he was selling things, art and stuff at a vendor table, and we totally did not realize that he was there, and he didn't realize that we were there until like the last day, like what, an hour and a half before closing, or 2 hours before closing. So we bumped into him, and he like realized that it was us, and he's like, oh my gosh, it's you guys. And so we like talked for a long time, and he had this adorable Fluttershy piece, which I think was a commission from like a year ago, and no one picked it up. So I was like, I'll buy it if no one's gonna pick it up. So yeah,
Yeah,
But-
it looks great.
it's so adorable.
So adorable. I actually like if I had money on me, I would have bought it before you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I didn't.
Yeah. But it's really cool. And then
Minus, why you no work?
oh. Then
Wait, all right, hold on. Random shout out because Minus just started working. Quick. Okay, so now that you're done with the thing about purple lemons, random shout out to him. That was really cool seeing him there. I went through like the whole vendor hall alley thing, having no friggin' clue that he was there. No clue he was there. I don't know how I missed him. I'm actually a huge fan of his. I've actually pushed to get his like Purple Lemon's work on our show before, like that Fluttershy piece that we featured. Like I really wanted to feature that one because I think he's a really good digital painter. So I really wanted to feature stuff. But anyway, we were walking around upstairs where like the panels were, not down in the vendor hall, and I saw some cards like laying on tables because people and artists and what people from DeviantArt or whatever were leaving their like stuff and cards, business cards on little tables lying around the convention, you know, plug their junk. And I saw a card and I was like, all right, look to this, like I'll grab it, whatever, you know, see what it is, see if it's an artist or something, because I like checking out artists. And sure enough, I look at the card and it says Purple Lemons, and like gives us DeviantArt and stuff like that. I'm like, I think I know that. So I like, oh wait, Purple Lemons is this artist that I know and really like. So I freaked out and I was like, oh my gosh, Purple Lemons is here. So I went to his DeviantArt and sent him a note. I was like, I had no idea you're at BronyCon. It's like, you should tweet me or something. So like we can meet or whatever. And then I like no idea that he actually had a physical table. And then I like sent that note and I was like, oh, okay, cool. And then I looked at his journal and he's like, I'm going to BronyCon. I'll be at this table right here. And I'm like, I'm like, well, now I made an idiot out of myself.
That's such a
Posting
funny
to
way
his
to...
DeviantArt saying like, oh my gosh, you're at Brony, whatever. And then I sent him another note and I was like, so I totally just read your journal and found out you're at table like 213. I'll see you there tomorrow. But yeah, but anyway, the reason why I got all excited and want to make a random shout out is we said hi, like whatever, just, you know, got to meet him and it was cool and we saw his work. And then exchanged like Skype and a bunch of other information. I got back in touch with him and we've been chatting on Skype. And when my birthday freaking came around on the 7th, he made me this. Hold on. Cutie Art Crusaders, he made me thingy. He made me birthday arts.
Oh, that's
Paste,
great.
enter.
that's
Very
adorable.
nice of him.
And it's me. By
Birthday
an artist I'm a
arts.
big fan of.
Posted twice.
That was super cool.
That's very
And
nice.
I got a bunch of other stuff for my birthday, but we'll get to that later. Flutterguy, you can finish. Go.
That's cool.
I'm done.
So the last thing that I got, which was actually the first thing that I purchased, was this glass with Applejack's cutie mark on it.
Apple glass.
Apple glass for cider, you know.
Yeah, you had cider in that yet?
I have not. I'm might not actually drink out of it. I think I'm just gonna use it as decoration.
You're a bum.
I know.
See, I got two glasses as well. I got a Rainbow Dash glass and then a Cutie Art Crusaders glass because I'm obsessed with CMC stuff because CAC, get it?
Yeah.
So right now, I can like talk into it. I'm drinking orange juice out of my Cutie Art Crusaders cup. It's delicious.
I don't get why. I don't get it because like you're a collector. I would guess that you would be the first person to be like, oh no, I get it. Never use the glass.
I have two parts of me though. Like I am a huge collector and like I'll buy things just to collect them. It's like a really bad habit. But I also, that part of me is I hate having something and then not really having a use to it or like underappreciating it. So I like using things. That's why I really enjoy like magic. That's why I'm really big into that because like these things that hold a lot of value and I collect have a use to them. I can use them and they have some physical use. So like these cups are awesome. And I didn't really buy these cups for collector's sake, but I bought them to use and they're pony related. So like I bought these for use, you know?
Yeah, I need a glass to drink from. Why not make it pony? I
Yeah.
totally
So,
trust me.
like-
That's how I work. So
Yeah, so like a lot of times when I buy stuff, like stickers or buttons or trading cards, whatever, like I want to have some use out of them, some greater use other than just sitting in a shelf or a drawer when no one will ever see them. So if I buy art and stuff, like it pains me when I don't hang it up. So like I'm surrounded by just like way too much friggin' art to just have it everywhere. Gah.
Yeah. So
Anyway,
yeah.
go.
So that was
Cool.
that was basically my haul from BronyCon.
you have enough haul for all of us. Jeez.
I know it was
you got quite
it
the-
was crazy. There were so many good artists there though.
Cutie Art Crusaders.
Yeah.
Like, you easily could have bought like 5 times as much as of this. Like, it was just insane how many good artists were at the con.
Okay.
So much money was spent on ponies.
Yeah.
So much.
Okay. So you guys have stories and you guys have fan stuff, and Bernd, I'm sure you have art that you want to talk about too. So let's try to get through that quickly. I know that you wanted to talk about Blixit, and the voice actress from Zecora, correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
So why don't you go through that and tell the story of that, and then we can get down to fan stuff.
Story. Yeah, story stuff. Lots of cool stories friggin' from the whole convention. One of the coolest was with Blixit, and that's the watercolor artist. So how that whole thing started was we were going through the artist alley, and we stopped at an artist's table editing. Her name was...
who was it?
We stopped at Gezi Bing, I believe, something like that. Gezi Bing's table.
Gezi
Bing. Gezi Bing? I don't know. Whatever. Anyway, we stopped by her table. She's an awesome watercolor artist. She also does designs and illustrates children's books, which is really cool. Yeah. And she has really adorable like style.
We also put some of her art on our show too. Before.
Yeah, exactly. So. If you remember our painting episode, when we talked about watercolor, we brought up her work.
Yeah.
But she was really nice. So we saw her there, and I'm like, hey, I know your Zecora and Twilight piece. Like, I love that piece. We brought it up when we were talking about watercolor. And then I mentioned that when we were talking about watercolor, we brought up an artist named Blixit in like her Rainbow Dash and Twilight piece. And she was like, oh, that artist is here. And I was like, what? Like, that artist is here at this con? And I was not expecting that. So, like, now I'm freaking out because I'm talking to an artist that was like, oh my gosh, I didn't know I was going to see you here and I love your art. And then she's like, oh, there's this other artist that, is totally here that I had no idea was going to be there. So, like, I was just freaking out. So then I went, like, literally 2 tables down, and there she is, Blixit. Now, Blixit, I have seen her work and her watercolor work at other conventions that are non-pony, like Emerald City Comic Con in Seattle, like when I had just became a Brony. It was my very first convention. So the very first convention I ever went to, I saw Blixit's work. But at that point in time, she was not a Brony. She had not even watched My Little Pony at that point in time. She actually watched it during the summer after that spring that I went and saw her work. So she had started making pony work like since then, and after that point that I had like seen her work and known her work. And then obviously I saw it and then brought it up on the show because I really enjoyed it, and you remember it in our painting episode. And then there she was, like, there's her table. And so we were talking to her and we were like being really friendly, like, we featured your work, I love your work. It was really cool. Bought some prints for her. She had some special prints there that I got. Put a picture. I don't have the print. I'll put a picture of the print on the screen. I'll take one. But anyway, I had this playmat that I was carrying around through the entire convention, and it was just of like the main 6 and some of the other characters like Celestia, Luna, Spike, Derpy, the CMC and whatnot. And I was getting just tons of signatures, like artist signatures, celebrity signatures, EFN signatures, you name it, on this playmat. And I asked Blixit to sign it. And then she was like, oh, this is really cool. I'd love if I could like doodle on it or something, but I can't. So like, I'll just make a signature. And I was like, well, that's kind of not a bad idea. And she was like, yeah, I mean, if it was just like a blank playmat, I'd love to like make a doodle in it or something and like sign it. Like, that'd be really cool. And I'm like, that's the most amazing idea I've ever heard. So at that point, I actually like looked up the nearest comic store, like nerd store that I could find that was like 10 minutes away, and a little bit out of Baltimore, and made Ted, like forced Ted to drive me there to go buy this bloody blank artist playmat, and then took it back to the convention, and then took it to her and was like, can you please like doodle on this, since you like said that you would have loved to. And she's like, I would love to doodle on it. So she made me a bloody drawing that was way better than what I expected. Holy cow. Mm-hmm. But that thing, before I show it, I took it all around the vendor hall. Like, that was the majority of what was spent with my time, was just like going, talking to artists, taking that playmat around and getting doodles on it. So I got doodles from almost every artist that I had known beforehand and admired, except for like 1 or 2, which was unfortunate. I just like didn't have enough bloody time. But this is what ended up being my playmat.
I'm really glad you brought up the playmat, because that is definitely, I mean, thinking about back to my con experiences and different things like that, the fact that you did this is so genius. I mean, it's a great way to save space and get a lot of different amazing artists. I mean, you've got so many great, amazing artists. You let them know and you say, hey, just doodle something. They have fun. You get a great time. I think next convention that I'm going to, next Pony convention, I'm going to do something like this. That's a great idea.
Me too.
Yeah, see,
Is that
but-
laminated yet? Oh, I just asked if you're going to laminate that, if you've laminated it yet.
No, I'm gonna laminate it. It's a playmat. It's cloth. It's meant to be
Ah,
durable and
it's
played
actually
on.
cloth, okay.
yeah,
It doesn't look like cloth to me.
Yeah, it's got rubber on the bottom. It's like a big mouse
Okay.
pad.
yeah.
I get it, yeah.
See,
Good Flutterguy.
here's the thing though, is like, when we go to like Everfree Northwest or whatever, we're all gonna show up with these empty playmats and just like one after another. Hey, can you doodle on this? Hey, can you doodle on this?
Oh, no. See, the thing is, you're all going to forget, and I'm not. So I'm going to do it, and you're going to be like, that's a great idea. I'm like, I thought of it first. Second, whatever.
Anyway, a little bit about this playmat. Some of the artists. I can't remember everyone's name, but I remember most of everyone.
I can recognize one at least.
Yeah, like you can try to pick out and recognize some of them. I guess I won't say all of them, but I mean, in the bottom right corner, we have a Trill. Above him is kind of, I got to
Skipsy.
read that because
Skipsy.
I can't remember
Skipsy.
everyone's name.
Skipsy.
Yeah, you have Skipsy above that, and then
That's
to
who I
the left
recognize
of-
straight away.
left of Skipsy is like Una Noki or something like that, or Noko.
Yeah.
Who just has a really adorable style. And then you got Sidon above her. Then towards the bottom on the left more down farther is Confused Guy. That's the big like pony like going through the clouds. Confused Guy was a really cool artist that we got to meet. Really humble. This was his first pony convention ever. First convention ever, I think, and first time like being man behind a table. But he had a really cool print. Confused Guy. DeviantArt, like confused-guy.deviantart.net. Go check him out. He's cool. And then you got Black Griffin with a little derpy there, and Brayburned above Black Griffin. And then to the left, that big, crazy, awesome alicorn is Blixit's doodle that she did. And it is awesome. That is an OC of hers that was originally from like a comic or something she was working on, where it was like this deity that was like a phoenix or something. And then she like converted over into like ponified this Phoenix demigod thing that she had this crazy like backstory for, which was really cool. I believe it's on her DeviantArt. Anyway, and then like that's her pony version of it, which is pretty cool. And then to the left of that is the artist who is sharing a booth with Blixit, and I forget her name. I believe it's like Amanda or Kari. Or no, Kari is Blixit's real name. Amanda, I think it's Amanda. But anyway, she had really cute work. She had a lot of Art Nouveau work too, which was really cute. Anyway, above that little derpy pony there is Karzalani or something. I forget how you pronounce his name. It is pronounced Karzahani. You can check him out. DeviantArt. Again, really cool style. Derp. Anyway, and then you got Leakfish to the left of that. And Pixel Kitty is above that, and then the little circle pony, like little lemon pony thing below Pixel Kitties is Purple Lemons. Get it? 'Cause it's like a lemon pony. And above Pixel Kitties, you have Spitfire Art, which is the cute little winking pony. And then in the very corner, top left corner, you have Hot-Blooded Pinkie Pie, aka UC77. And so that was a funny story is Spitfire Art was actually doodling on this playmat because I was like, hey, would you like to doodle on this? She's like, I'd love to. So she was doodling on it, and then UC77 walks over and like sees her doodling on it, and then when she was done like handing it back to me, he walked up to me, he's like, hey, can I doodle on that? And I'm like, sure, like knock yourself out, like go for it. So then he started doodling on it, and he drew Pinkie Pie with explosions, hot-blooded Pinkie Pie with explosions going everywhere, and it turned out really cool. It turned out awesome. And then to the right of that, we have Mega Sweet, Celestia winking, which is one of my favorite drawings. It's super awesome. And you have Rory to the right of that, and then below that is Celeb Yoshi, and that's her OC. Because when I was going up to artists and stuff, I was asking them like, hey, would you like to doodle on this? And they'd be like, when they would see all the artists that just went to town on it, they'd be like, oh, I'd love to like do another doodle. And as a request, I'd asked if they did like an OC or a character they're famous for. So like most of these are all like the artist OCs. So like a Trill's OC Beach Ball, then obviously Pixel Kitty's version of herself, and then the Blixit's OC of like the Phoenix from her other like non-pony work. And then the big happy pony to the right of Celeb Yoshi's OC Dawnfire is Gary. And you'll know Gary from the Children of the Night video. So if you remember in our Children of the Night interview, in the very beginning of if you've even seen Children of the Night, the very beginning of it, in the intro with that pony talking and like telling the beginning of the story with the little things on her nose, that's Gary, and that was an OC made by Trish. And Trish did a bunch of artwork for BronyCon. And I have some stories about her too, but I'll get back to that. But anyway, I asked her to make a doodle, and she was like, because I remembered her from all that. She's like, oh, I'd love to. So she did a doodle of Gary from Children of Night and all that. That's there. And the right of that is the coffee cup with the Doom mushroom. So that coffee cup is from a comic that I'm a huge fan of called Romantically Apocalyptic. And Vitally is the artist who does that comic. Again, no clue that guy was going to be there. I didn't even know he was a Brony. He doesn't have any Brony artwork. He just does the comic I'm a big fan of. But sure enough, he was there behind a table selling his comic, wearing a bunch of Brony gear. And I'm like, holy crap, I'm a huge fan of you. So I bought his Series 1 and Series 2 of his comic book, Romantically Apocalyptic, with the Captain. And super pumped, still super pumped about that, to see him there. So I asked him to doodle like a thing having to do with the Captain or Romantically Apocalyptic. So he drew the Apocalyptic teacup, which is awesome. And then to the right of that, top right corner, is, I honestly don't know how to pronounce her name. I believe it's Doi. I'm going to say it Doi because it's funny and I like it. But really big fan of her work too. And she was there. She was sharing a table with cars. Below that is Trigian, who is the traditional oil painter, who, if you might remember from our painting episode.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, that's everyone on this playmat. I got to meet all of them, talk with all of them. Awesome.
That sounds really awesome. I mean, you've got so many different amazing artists. And like I said, I totally want to steal this idea. It's too bad that we have this podcast that we talk to a bunch of people, because I have a feeling that might be a little bit more popular next year. But I definitely, as someone who doesn't have a huge amount of space, this seems like the perfect idea. Just get one of these and then I can use it almost like a poster, even though it's got foam in the back.
Yeah, because like I was saying, I want to get use out of it, or have because now it's like insanely special to me, but I can still have some greater use for it. I can do something with it.
For me, I mean, for you, you definitely can get some use out of it as a playmat. Me personally, it's more like, ooh, conserving space.
It's efficient.
Exactly.
Efficiency.
So we actually did play Magic on that, and Bernd kicked my butt.
We did.
Hardcore.
Of course you did. That's why you need me, because neither one of us know what the heck we're doing.
Yeah.
Well, I had a Magic itch too. I was like, I really want to play Magic, and then I was playing you, and I was like, well, this isn't going to be a competition. No offense, but you're learning.
I need
I've been playing for 4 bloody
strats.
years. But someone was actually there who knew Magic, and I played him, and it was actually a really close game. We played 2 of my decks, and he got me down to 7, the bugger, but I managed to get him.
So you were
cool guy. Vincent was his name.
Yeah.
So you were mentioning Gary on there, which obviously had ties with Children of the Night. I know
Yes.
that Trish and Spirito are good friends. And you guys had a little tiny story with her, didn't you?
Yeah. So, so what happened was, it was Friday and we were just starting to go to bed, and I was like checking DeviantArt messages, Twitter, whatnot. And I decided to check because I remember Spirit and Lion saying they weren't going to be here. So I decided to check on them. So I decided to check their blog and see if they were saying anything. I don't know why. I just thought to check on them. Because they're cool. So I went to their blog, and sure enough, on their blog, it said, if you're at BronyCon, you should stop by and say hi to Trish for us. Trish was the artist who created Gary. And I did not know that. So I was like, oh, that's actually really cool. And also in the blog post, Spirit said, Trish really likes cookies. And so if you're there and say hi, you should bring her some cookies for us. And I thought, why not? So I while Flutterguy and Mahau were trying to sleep, I was like, hey, you guys awake? And they're like, yeah. And I was like, in the morning, remind me, we're going to Subway. And they're like, what? Okay. And we wake up in the morning on Saturday, and we're like, so we're going to Subway? And I'm like, yep, we're going. I was like, don't ask questions, we're just gonna go. So we go to Subway, get things, we get our sandwiches, and when I come up, I was she's like, is this gonna be all? And I was like, no, I would like 12 cookies, please. Yeah. So I just bought a bunch of cookies. And they were like,
up until that point, we had no idea what you were doing. And then yeah.
So then I told them the story about the post and how Spirit was saying you should bring Trish cookies. And I already talked to Trish, and she was really nice. So I thought, why not bring her some cookies? So we brought him back to the vendor hall, went back to her table, and I gave her a whole bunch of Subway cookies, and she was really happy, and it was awesome. And then after that point is when I asked her to draw Gary with the cookies and stuff. And something else really cool is she actually gave me a gift for my birthday because of like the cookies I brought. So like, but we'll get to that. I had one more story that I want to cover. Can I cover that?
Yes, that one is very, very nice that you guys did, and I would very much like it if you told it.
Yes.
We can go over time. Don't worry.
So I have lots of stories, but one of my last like big stories that was really special for me for my con experience was definitely like talking to Blixit, talking about her work, like getting a sketch from her. And then while we were talking to her, she mentioned that her favorite pony is Zecora. And she had an amazing Zecora print that I'll put a picture on the screen of that Zecora is actually, like the voice actress for Zecora is holding. Mm-hmm. And I'll talk about this picture. So what ended up happening was she mentioned that she loves Zecora and that this table, like being at her tables, kept her so busy she hasn't been able to go up or get any signatures or anything because she's just been too busy. And like I thought that was really sad. I mean, the reason why you go to these pony conventions is to get like signatures and meet the people who you have so much respect for. And she kept talking about how much she respects Zecora and wish she could meet her. And I thought it was really sad. So what I did was I bought her Zecora print and then I took it up to the signature room when Zecora was doing signings, and she was only doing pictures at the time. So I went up for a picture and I was like, I don't really want a picture, but I was wondering if you could sign this for me. And she was like, oh, I'd love to. And I was like, if you want a picture, you can still grab one. So I was like, all right, awesome. So I was like, well, it's cool if I get a picture for you, but if I'm only paying for one picture, I'll just pay for the picture of you with this print because it's a gift. Like, if anything, I'll just get the picture of you, like the print and you, like with her work. And what ended up happening was she's like, oh, that's really nice of you to try to like get the gift for her, but this artwork is amazing and I would really love to meet the artist. And I'm like, well, she would love to meet you. So what she said is that if I could get like Blixit up there, she would love to talk to her about her art to see if she can use it to like create signing cards and stuff with her work. And I was like, you know what? I will try my darndest to get Blixit like here to be able to meet you. So from that point, what I did was I went back down to her stand and I said, I have like a surprise for you. I managed to get this piece of yours signed by Zecora and I wanted to give it to you. And like, this is yours and it's a present. But I also have one more surprise for you, is that Zecora said that she would love to meet you because she loves your work. And then like from that point, she was like kind of freaking out, like, oh, like Zecora like wants to meet me or whatever. I was like, yeah, I was like, we can get security to watch your table if you need, but you should just come with me because Zecora only has 40 minutes and then she has to like leave to get on a plane. So we should get up there. So, I took her up to the signing room, all the way up there, showed her where it was, just so she could, talk to Zecora about her print. And she brought along her special matted print of the Zecora piece, and like another print to give as a gift. And so she got to go up there. She got to talk to Zecora. She got a bunch of photos with Zecora. And I have a bunch of photos because we didn't have a camera, so we just used my phone. And I got a bunch of photos with of her and Zecora. And while they were posing and like getting ready for a picture, Zecora's voice actor started talking like Zecora to Blixit. And like thanking her, and it caused Blixit to just crack up and she couldn't keep a straight face. So I have a whole bunch of pictures of like her laughing because she was talking like Zecora in rhymes, and it was great. It was an awesome moment to actually like get her to see Zecora. So like that was really cool. And so as like a gift, she ended up giving me the Zecora print that I got her as a gift, and then she kept her matted one that she got signed, and then she physically gave Zecora's voice actor a print of hers as a gift as well. And it was really cool. It was a special moment.
Zecora's voice actress is Brenda Critchlow.
Mm-hmm. Right, yeah.
Brenda Critchlow, thank you.
That story like is so amazing. I remember for some reason like Mahauer and I were trying to get in contact with you, and we knew that you were going up for the signing, but it was taking a while. And then like when you told us that story the first time, it was just like, oh wow, that's really cool. Like that's amazing that you did that for both of them, actually. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
No, but it was awesome. It was really awesome to see Blixit laugh when you started talking like Zecora. That was an awesome moment. Mm-hmm. But they got in contact, and then Brenda was super, super nice, and she was gonna like get in contact with Blixit, maybe use her artwork for like signing cards and stuff as she goes to other conventions and things. But I'm like, I was thinking to myself, you know, like you go to this convention, it's like a once in a lifetime thing sometimes to, you know, meet the voice actor that you are inspired by so much and create like this awesome fan art of. Like, you should really take that moment to like meet that person, you know, if it's that special to you. And I mean, she was even talking about how that's what she wanted to do and how she was sad that she hadn't or like couldn't have the time. So I was like, you know what? I'd make the time. So I got her there, and it was awesome.
It's definitely a struggle. I mean, we encountered that a lot with Everfree Northwest too. A lot of people who are down at the tables have to be there because they want to make sure that they can pay for this trip, or they want to be down there, and it, you know, a lot of the times they can't go either go to the panels they want to or meet the people that they want to. And it was really nice of you, Bernd. I know that sometimes at these conventions with the Cutie Art Crusaders label, where, you know, we get to go out of our ways to make other people's day, because that's exactly what BronyCon and Brony conventions are all about. So it's a wonderful story, and I hope that she had a great time.
Hope she did too. Yeah, so now I have her the gift that I ended up getting to her, she gave back to me. So now I have one of her Zecora print signed by Zecora's voice actor, signed by Brianna, and with that says to carry on it. That's nice. But it's still really cool.
Yeah,
nice.
I'm really happy with it.
That's nice.
That's really awesome.
Awesome print. Anyway, real quick, I just wanted to show some of the stuff that I'm pulled back or got whatever from BronyCon and all of their stuffs and adventures. I got a lot of prints too, but this was the stuff that I managed to procure from BronyCon. And I won't spend too much time on it, but down at the bottom was a quick plug that I wanted to make. That the 3 comics on the bottom right are Toilet. It's called Toilet Genie, and it's a comic book made by Blixit, the artist that I was just talking about, and it's an awesome comic book, and it's on her DeviantArt. If you go to blix-it.deviantart.com, she has like her pages of like Toilet Genie there, but it's a really awesome comic. It's like half digital, half watercolor, but really cool. I just bought it for a reason because it was awesome. And then on the bottom left is 3 little Pinkie Pie things of Pinkie Pie putting frosting on her rock garden. And then she's happy in the next photo. And the last one, she's like eating the frosting. And that's by Blixit too. It's all watercolor. And a bunch of the other stuff that some of the other guys got to. So print by Sophie Cabra, some Celeb Yoshi things next to that. Another card by Blixit. The Pandora's Labyrinth card is also by Blixit. The thing above that was actually a gift from Pixel Kitties. I think she just let me have it and like signed it, which was awesome. A little print by Pixel Kitties, Celeb Yoshi next to that. Then stickers, one by Leakfish. And I got my BronyCon book signed by Trish. And then in the top left was the comic book I was talking about, Romantically Apocalyptic, with the Captain. I got it signed by the artist. And then, of course, the awesome Flavor Flav badge, courtesy of Crazy Pastels, top right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yay.
That's my stuff. Ooh, one other quick shout out is if you can see the 3 cards on the bottom of the little card book, that's the puzzle that came with the cards that I bought at Everfree stand. But those 3 cards on the bottom are trading cards that they made that an artist, Sweet Cream, and another artist made for the convention. And like all organized and stuff. What they did was they sent out a bunch of requests to different artists and asked them to like send back art if they want to be a part of this collectible card thing. And they managed to make a series of 60 cards that you can, like little trading cards that have like the artist's stuff on the back, like how you can find them, their DeviantArt, Tumblr, or whatever on the back, and then art of them on the front that you can collect. And they sold them in random packs, or you could buy the full set. And this is an awesome idea because like when you buy a pack, maybe you'll pull your favorite artist, so like Spitfire Art or whoever you have Skip C in the middle there, or you like pull a lesser known artist or someone who's like maybe not as popular as some of the others, but like you pull both and you can see all the art, whatever. Really cool idea. They said they might be doing it for next BronyCon. That was the last little plug.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, that was pretty awesome.
Okay.
You kind of grabbed that on the last day, and unfortunately we didn't know about it until then, because I'm sure you would have gone around and gotten all the artists to sign their own cards, but
Everyone who was there, I got signatures from, except for like one or two.
yeah, which is a really cool idea.
Anyway,
So, onto fan interactions, because we did meet quite a few fans. The first fan who we met was actually Mahauer, because he was staying with us.
yeah.
Yeah.
Of course. I think I would classify Mahauer more of as friend than a fan.
Yeah. Well, we've known Mahauer for a long time, so it was nice to finally get to meet him. But we did meet.
You guys got a great picture in the car together.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Bernd, slow zoom, James Bond music, go.
Oh god.
There you go.
And we're done. Yeah.
Oh no, that photo was awesome.
Yeah.
Happy with that photo. I look like a derp, but whatever.
We also met Mummified Mustangs, who Bernd met before at EQLA, I think, right?
Mhm.
And
Well, actually, I don't think we should just leave that Mahauer photo alone.
Okay.
So quick.
okay,
Because we happen to be wearing the dorkiest
Right.
unicorn sunglasses that I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And they were sunglasses that they came with like packages for BronyCon, and we got some, and they're ridiculous.
They're
they have
awesome.
a unicorn on it, and the concept is like if you have the sunglasses on top of your head, you have a unicorn horn. But anyway,
they were
My
so
goodness.
cool.
I shout out to those glasses. They're awesome.
Yeah.
Unicorn.
So Mummified Mustang is the big guy in the purple wear, right?
It's a purple.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. I
He-
don't know the people, so I'm trying to like desperately look through. You're like, who is it?
He cosplayed as Spike.
Like seriously, cosplay.
He had a tail. He had contact lenses that were like dragon eyes.
Yeah, dragon contact lenses.
Yeah. Which was weird at first because like one of them was like rotated slightly. But still, it's really awesome.
So shout out to this pic where we have 3 of our fans, and then Mahauer
Yeah.
and Flutterguy, and then also being photobombed by Rammus from League of Legends in the background.
Yep.
But that is Met Bob on the left there, the far left, and you have Mahauer, Flutterguy, and then forget his name, but he is also a fan of the show, and he stopped and talked to us for a little bit, talked to me, and it was cool to meet him because he was actually a fan, and it was cool. Forget your name. What's your bloody tag say?
It's impossible to remember everyone's names. I'm
Stupid
Yeah.
phone. Something 63. If you're in the chat,
here's the deal.
say
Here's the
hi.
deal. Because I had this issue with Everfree Northwest. If you see yourself in these photos and you're like, "Hey, by the way, it's me," we will shout you out like next week or whatever. Just let
Yeah.
us know.
Yeah.
So
Tja.
Commander, I
was cool
believe
to meet him.
Commander Sparkle did that. I believe it was Commander Sparkle. Who
Probably, yeah.
I said I took a picture of this guy. I don't remember his name, and then he sent me a message being like, "By the way, that was me." And I was like, "Oh yeah,
Oh.
yeah, it's Commander
Yeah.
Sparkle." So if that's
He
you,
stopped by one of my
please feel free.
Commander Sparkle stopped by one of my live streams when I was editing with my niece. So she was sitting in my lap and I was trying to edit, and she was talking away and playing with my ponies. And Commander Sparkle stopped by the stream, and I was like, "Oh, hey, look, there's Commander Sparkle. We met him at Everfree Northwest." And I was like, "Hey, Start or hey, Athena, can you say Commander Sparkle?" And she's like, "Commander Sparkle." I was like, "Ah."
Aw.
That's funny. So I got to say one of our fans' names.
We took pictures of them. So just another fan
Rainbow
interaction that we
Dad is
didn't really
cute.
get to talk about last week, and I wanted to because he contacted me. So that was very nice of you. Thank you. His name is Commander Sparkle. Commander Dad Sparkle.
Shout out to Commander Sparkle.
You can tell I'm relaxing.
Oh, hey, he's totally in the stream.
Where?
Can you say hi? Can you say hi, Commander Sparkle?
Okay. Hi.
Commander?
Where?
No, say hi, Commander Sparkle. You say Commander Sparkle?
Hi.
Now say Commander.
Maggie.
Close enough. Now say Sparkle.
Paco.
Close enough. Alright. Back to editing.
Everyone loves me.
Okay. So many people
Yeah.
stopped to say hi to us.
I also
There's so many people.
grabbed this photo.
Duh.
That is us with Tech Rainbow,
Yeah.
which was pretty cool. So we ran into him. We ran into a bunch of other people, mostly on the vendor hall floor.
I think I got a picture of Tech Rainbow too.
There was also this picture with someone who is wearing Equestria Girls ears and tail.
Wonder Colts
outfit.
Mm-hmm.
What, that one? Oh, okay. Totally caught off guard because I was not paying attention. Yes, Wonder Colts cosplay. That's Don DeVore on the left. An awesome Brony musician. He was the major sound manager for Everfree Northwest. If you watch the opening ceremonies for Everfree Northwest, the guy who opened up with the song and the musics of the pony covers, that was Don DeVore.
Huh.
The gentleman on the left. Gentleman in the middle, I forget his real name and pony name, but he is an awesome guy who is also on staff for the first Everfree Northwest and also helped out on staff on the Everfree North, like the most recent Everfree Northwest. And I had like met him, talked with him, cool guy, and randomly ran into him there while walking through the aisles. And I was like, oh, hey, like, how you doing? And he was like, oh, good. And we were talking in front of Confused Guy's booth. So I was talking to Confused Guy and talking about his work and how his one print that he did that was really awesome, which turned out to be an inspirational print that I'll put on the screen, really reminded me of Sofa and Quills, an artist on DeviantArt who has a very distinct style, also known as Top Shot, who does work for We Love Fine. And he said, you are the second person to ever have noticed that, and with the exception of Kevin Sano, who noticed it first, and then I was the second person to ever notice it, but I mean, he said that was exactly who he got the inspiration from, was he was inspired by Sofas and Quills' work, aka Top Shot's work, and decided to make an inspirational piece because he inspired him so much. It is really cool, and I mean, it has the distinct eyelashes and even like the text and like how things are made. It's very kind of like artsy or whatever. But anyway, when I was talking to Confused Guy and talking about his artwork, I ran into that gentleman in the Wonder Colts cosplay, and was talking to him, and then sure enough, Don DeVore walks by and he's like, oh, hey, like, good to see you two back from Everfree. And talked to him. I saw Musiquestria in Portland, so we were talking about that and like how the tour is going. He mentioned that he still had some shows to do, blah, blah, blah. But yeah, two other awesome guys. Yeah. Yeah, and then, that doesn't even end there. Because I was talking to those two, more people started walking by, and more people, and that's how I met a bunch of fans, was sitting there and talking to people. Because I was talking to them, and apparently looked important because I was talking to people, people started recognizing me as Bernd01, and I mean, like, Met Bob came and joined and started talking, and then, like, Mummified walked by, and then that dude, I can't remember his name, and then another guy who I can't remember his name, who was, like, all decked out in army gear.
Yeah.
And, like, Brony army gear and stuff. Was like, oh, hey, like, you Bernd one, I've been a fan of your show. And I'm like, you did? Like, I am.
I mean,
that was awesome. I think he even asked for a signature.
we couldn't go like 10 minutes without running into Mummified. So we did keep bumping into him. We met Chris Musics, who's in the chat quite a bit. That was cool, running into him. I'm trying to think of other people that we ran into, but I think that might cover it. Yeah, cool. Yay! So the con was awesome, but we also had another awesome thing happen while you were here with me, which was your birthday.
Oh, yeah. I was like, what? Yeah, that.
Yeah.
I turned 22 on August 7th, which is like 2 days after BronyCon ended, a day after BronyCon ended or something. Monday, Tuesday. But it was awesome. It was actually one of the more special birthdays I've had because I got to go to BronyCon, which was awesome, and then tons of people wished me happy birthday on my YouTube page, or not YouTube page, DeviantArt page, and I was not expecting that. I was not expecting everyone to like wish me happy birthday and stuff, and then people like made me art and vectors and a bunch of crazy stuff, and because I gave Trish cookies, she got back in contact with her on Skype, and then on the day of my birthday, she made me a doodle and then sent me it to send it to me on Skype on my birthday, which is a doodle of Gary and I eat like drooling over cookies. It's really cute, and I wasn't expecting that at all. And tons of birthday gifts. Purple Lemon sent me something. So many people sent me stuff. I like made a little post about it on DeviantArt. But easily, one of the most special things that I did receive like as a birthday gift that actually didn't come in on time, like wasn't sent to me on a birthday, was actually sent to me on the weekend while I had like really horrible service at Flutterguy's beach house.
Oh, you're not talking about.
Oh, I am.
Oh, you dork. Dork.
That thing. Can I talk about that thing?
Of course
Link
you
it.
can.
Link it.
I was calling you a dork because you were saying it was like super special. You're a dork.
It is super friggin' special. You're a dork.
Mm.
Can I tell the story then? Okay, so the one that Bernd is talking about, which I'm assuming he's putting up on the screen now, is a birthday gift that I arranged for him from Blitzpony. So about a week before Bernd's birthday, I sat down on my computer and I saw the little DeviantArt notification going, Bernd's birthday is coming up soon. And I went, oh no, because I had nothing planned and I've been kind of sick of doing vectors and stuff. So I was like, what do I do? And so I kind of just as like a last resort, I sent a little message to Blitzpony because I saw that she had an email and I said, hey, would you possibly do a commission for me for Bernd's birthday? Because he really likes your stuff and he won't shut up about you every week. So she said, yes, I would love to. I've been meaning to give you guys a gift for, because she came on a podcast like half a year ago or so. And she said, I always wanted to do stuff for you guys, but I never remembered to, or I got too busy or whatever. So I'd be happy to. So basically, over the next little bit, she made this little piece and I told her to make a piece with me and Bernd's OCs in the style of Fireflies, because that's a little inside joke between Bernd and I, because for the first, I'd say 30 episodes, Fireflies would come up every single episode because Bernd would just bring it up for one reason or another, and I'd always get mad at him for it because he always brought up the same goddamn piece. But
it was my favorite pony piece.
But I thought I would make something similar to that. So thank you very much to Blitzpony for making that for me. She actually, for some reason, I kept being like, look, I want to pay you for this, and she kept being like, nope, it's a gift. So she's pretty awesome, and she says happy birthday too. I know I told you that before.
Yeah. She needs to log on Skype so I can thank her personally. But she lives in the UK, so she has funky hours.
But it was tremendously nice of her to take some time out of her schedule to do this for me, because I'm a lazy bum who doesn't want to do art.
But yeah, on my birthday, like getting everything and getting all the art and everyone wishing me happy birthday, like I've never had that many people wish me happy birthday before, so it was kind of special. And I got like a little teary at one point when people started like sending me art and I was making like a journal post. But I don't know, it was cool. It was a good birthday. It was a good time. So thank you to everyone who like wished me happy birthday and sent me fan art and awesome stuff. And thank you to Rainbow Plasma, especially for this.
Yeah.
It's no big deal.
Fireflies one.
It's an amazing piece.
It's mostly Blitzpony.
It's easily like the best thing ever.
I'm glad you like it.
It's like it's on my everything now. It's on like my phone. It's on my computer.
Yeah,
It's
I
on your
found it's
Skype.
actually it's like the perfect phone resolution, so it's the background of my phone now. Although I had to move it down because my face is covered by my time.
Yeah.
So I had to like move it down
I had to
slightly.
move it down a little too. Oh god. Oh god.
So I'm
Yeah.
gonna have to cut you off here. I did give you a
The
little
fireflies.
No, okay. I gave you a little bit of a loose leash because I know you guys had a lot of fun at BronyCon, and so we definitely went over. We're now quite far into the episode, but I'm
wait,
glad. No,
There's more.
No, no.
But wait. So I forgot that I got 2 commissions, or I bought 2 sketches. I got 1 commission and 1 sketch, one by a Trill, and then I bought a sketch by Sophie Cabra, and they're super cool and pretty, and I'm just gonna put them on screen. That's it. There you go. They're cute.
Yay!
You
I
done?
don't have a link.
Is
but
that
they're cute.
good?
Yep.
They're adorable.
That was it. It's just
really
look at
cute.
me.
Actually-
By a Trill sketch. So pretty.
Bernd got the Atrill sketch first, and then I decided I needed to get a commission from Atrill. So
Of course.
Yeah.
thank you,
Bernd.
Bernd.
Oh yeah. One more super special, awesome plug. This link that I actually have a link for, right here. There you go. I finally hung up the painting that I
Yay.
got from Everfree Northwest. I didn't know if I wanted to like talk about it or
You
whatever.
found the perfect place on that wall, that's for sure.
Yeah, that's really awesome.
It's right, like that's my computer, so I get
Yeah.
to see it like right by my computer. I didn't know if I wanted to talk about it or like keep it as a personal thing or whatever, but
It's nice to see.
Yeah.
like
It's also
I did end up getting the painting, and I love it.
it's awesome that you put the charcoal of us underneath it too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think we mentioned in the episode where
yeah.
we talked about the painting how she gave that to me as a gift
Yep.
for everything on Northwest. Yeah, we got it up, we got it hanging up.
Okay.
Oh.
That's
I'm seriously gonna have to cut down on time. I've been lenient this episode, but we really do need to wrap up. So thank you for sharing your BronyCon experience. It sounds like it was a lot of fun. It was too bad I couldn't come, but you know that's life. And hopefully next year I can come down.
Yeah.
It'd be super fun. Yeah. Well, actually, depending on where I live next year, I could be anywhere. I could be actually out west by you, Bernd. So who knows? Tons of fun activities. But yeah, so that's it for this episode, guys. In terms of plugs, I mean, it's just standard. We've got DeviantArt, we've got Twitter at Cutie Art Crusade, we've got Facebook, facebook.com/Cutie Art Crusaders, email cutieartcrusaders@gmail.com, and our new YouTube page, which I swear will have more stuff on it. Now that Bernd is back, I know he's going full gear. He's going to try to get guests on for the YouTube page.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Flutterguy, you're planning some stuff.
Yep.
So you know, definitely
be
go check
fun.
out the YouTube, youtube.com/Cutie Art Crusaders. And that is
Yeah.
everything for this week.
Well, speaking of YouTube, definitely make sure to watch our YouTube and the, like we mentioned earlier, the Everfree YouTube, because we do have those interviews in the Traveling Pony Museum popping up. And we saw a lot of artists in the Traveling Pony Museum that we've had on the show before, or fans of our show. I actually saw, what is it, Jowie? I saw some of Jowie Bean's artwork in the
Yeah.
Traveling Pony Museum, which was cool. Shout out to him. When is Buck, anyway?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Is Buck going on now? Soon?
I think it was last
Anyway,
weekend.
Jowie Bean's going to be at Buck. Look for him.
Yeah.
He actually has a table. Anyway.
Okay, stop. Enough. Cutting it. This is it.
So much stuff!
No, this is it. I've slipped too far into the be nice and let Bernd talk mode. I need to cut back into the never
But
again
wait,
mode.
there's more!
No. Thank you
There's
guys.
I got
for
a
watching.
pin from the Traveling
No,
Pony Museum. It's
no,
really
no,
pretty.
no,
Look
no,
at
enough
it.
of this. If you didn't talk about it already, then it's too late.
It's a pretty pin.
Thank you guys for
on the
watching,
screen.
whether or not you're on YouTube or the live stream. We love you all the same. Next week, we don't really know what's happening. I know Bernd has talked about getting some special guests on, especially now that we've been to a couple conventions.
Yes.
But if we don't have a special guest on next week, we will put the theme up on the screen because we're trying to, once again, get back into the routine of giving you guys advance notice for our themes.
Could be a special guest too. I don't know. We'll see.
We'll see.
So
I'll contact some peeps.
that's everything for this week. Again, thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed this episode, and look back for starting now. We're going to start putting more regular content. It's been a little bit crazy for the last 2.5 months. We're going to try to slip back into a regular routine starting now. So that's everything. My name is Rainbow Plasma.
I'm Brenda 1.
I'm Flutterguy 317.
And I'm Atmos Spark.
And we'll see you guys next week.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.